Oh, this smells so good. This is that orange one I got. It smells like fresh oranges just picked off a tree. It smells wonderful. So, I don't have anything planned, so I don't know what we're going to talk about today. Let's see if it says how long we need to keep this puppy on here. Oh, I can't ever read these things. Let's see. It's all some other language. There it is in English, but it's really tiny. Even with my magnifying glass, I can't read it. I'm just looking for numbers. 10 to 20. That's close enough. That's all I was looking for was a number. So, you know me, I can talk for 10 minutes easy. Do you, where you guys live, have homecoming mums? Do you even know what that is? I didn't know till I moved here to Texas. For homecoming, the girls get these. I'll put some pictures in for you right here. There are these big mums with streamers, and the guys get them for the girls, and they'll have like a bear on them, or if they play volleyball, they might have volleyball on it. I mean, like miniature volleyball, of course, but the bears are sometimes this big. Sometimes the girls have to wear straps to hold them up. They're so huge. It's just ridiculous how big they are. I mean, it's just, I never saw anything like it till I moved here to Texas. It's a southern thing, I think. If you're from like California or back east, you probably never heard of them, because I'd never heard of them. So my grandson's getting ready to go to homecoming. Just a bunch of friends going together. But, you know, they do what they call a HOCO, which stands for homecoming ask, and they do these crazy ways they ask, and I can't wait to see the pictures. My grandson, he got crime scene tape, and he had a friend go with him, and he made some fake blood out of like honey and molasses and red food coloring, and he had a white shirt on, so he's like, make it look like he's bleeding, and he's laying down with a chalk outline, and his sign that he made says, "I'm dying to go to HOCO with you." So I can't wait to see the pictures. I mean, some of the, if you Google or on YouTube too, I think they have it, homecoming asks, some of them are just crazy. Some of them are really cute. Some of them are crazy. And the mums, if you Google Texas homecoming mums or whatever, you'll see what they look like. And I put some pictures in there for you too. They're just crazy. I don't know how they got so out of hand. I mean, I think back in the day, originally they were maybe just like a little mum. Then they maybe had a couple streamers, and now they're like 4 feet long and this wide and just crazy huge. The guys wear like a garter with a mum on it and some streamers usually. So my grandson's trying to get it, so he's trying to talk the girls into just, instead of going to the dance, going bowling. Don't know how successful he's going to be at that, because, you know, girls like to get all gussied up and go to the dance. Get a new dress and on, you know, new hairdo and all that. So they may go do both, go to the dance and afterwards go bowling, you know, bring a change of clothes and go bowling. My hair's getting really long, isn't it? If y'all remember, if you look back at my videos from a year ago, my hair was like really short hair and bangs, and now it's long hair and no bangs. It's what it started with, you know, like 2020. I was due to get a haircut in like March of 2020, and we all know what happened in March of 2020. Everything went quick and shut down. So by the time I could get a haircut, my bangs were down to like about here. I'm like, I've never grown my bangs out in years, because it's just such a pain to do. So since I was past some of the worst part, because I could tuck it behind my ears, I just kept going, and this is what you see. This used to be bangs. But now Now it's all, I had to kind of make it all one length. I don't know when I'm going to stop, growing it. I don't know how far I'll go, because my hair gets really thick and bushy, as I showed you in one of the, I forget which one it was, one of my videos I did recently. I showed you what it looks like if I don't tame it at all, and it was just like so the longer it gets, probably, I don't know if that'll pull some of the bush out of it, the weight of it, because my hair is really heavy. When I was young, back in the 60s and 70s, the in thing was straight hair and then down to your waist, and so I used to have really, really, really long hair, and I could not put it up because there was so much of it. It would give me a headache if I had it up like in a ponytail or whatever. And if I'd put it in a ponytail when it was wet, the part that was, in the band would never dry because it was just so heavy. I kid everybody about I invented blow dry because my father-in-law, for a Christmas present or something, I had just gotten married, I was like 18. He gave me a beauty salon thing, and they put my hair in rollers and put me under one of those big, hair dryer things, and I had the big rollers in. And 4 hours later, my hair was still not dry. So I finally gave up and took it out of the rollers and did blow dry and curling iron, which is all they do nowadays pretty much. And so I kid about how I'm the one that invented that. Because that's the only way you can get my hair to dry. I mean, this will dry by morning, but it'll take all night to dry. And I don't like sleeping with it down because I don't like it in my face, so I usually put it up before I go to bed, like on the top of my head in a bun, and it'll still be wet when I wake up because I have it bunched together so it doesn't get dry. Oh, this smells so good. These oranges are just so refreshing smelling. So one of you guys commented that you'd never done a face mask before. Well, I will tell you that up until maybe a few months ago, maybe a year ago now, I had never done a face mask either. And I finally broke down and decided, well, I'll do face mask Monday. And that's still all I do, is once a week. Some of you do them every day, but I do face masks once a week now. And they do feel really good on your skin. They feel good while you're doing it. It's a very moisturizing feeling. And then afterwards, your skin feels just more soft and supple. So if you haven't tried one, give it a try. And if you have a channel, do Mask Monday Ladies. It started with just _ Nina. She started doing them, I don't know, a year and a half ago maybe. And slowly more and more and more. And now there's over 60 of us, well over 60 of us that do them pretty much every week. So if you put hashtag Mask Monday Ladies all in lower caps, it'll bring up like dozens of Mask Monday people. You can meet some new friends that way. That's how I met some of you. What am I doing this week? Got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Not a big deal, just a checkup. And then I'm going to lunch with the grandparents from my grandson's school. I'm on the grandparents. I don't know, I'm one of the OG of the grandmas. I've been around since they started a grandparents association. And we've been struggling to keep like 5 to 8 people in the grandparents association for like a couple years now. And there's all these new students because from what I hear, all the private Christian schools are just booming because people are fed up with all the shenanigans in the public schools. So a lot of people are taking their kids out of public schools and putting them in private schools. So it was probably 30 people at this month's Grandparents Association meeting. I was just like shocked. I'm like, that can't be our meeting. They're like, yeah, that is. I'm like, wow, way so many people. So that's great because we try and get the grandparents to volunteer and help in the lunchroom or help in the library or help in the they have a place where they sell uniforms and snacks for the kids and stuff like that. They always need help doing something or another, and the grandparents often, when they have a couple times a year, they have where they serve the teachers. One of them's like a soup social in the fall, and then there's a lasagna one in the spring, and the grandparents almost always serve at that, and the parents usually bring the food, and the grandparents just are the servers. But they usually ask me to bring something because I'm gluten-free, so I know how to make a good gluten-free dish, and they have, some teachers that are gluten-free, so I usually will bring soup for the soup thing and maybe a dessert so that the gluten-free people have some choices. Because being gluten-free, I know sometimes you get really left out when it comes to desserts, and especially desserts, which you'd think I'd lose more weight because I seldom can eat a dessert, because you go somewhere and it's, cookies or cake or whatever, and you can't eat any of that stuff. Like you go to, and I don't eat a lot of dairy, so if you think about it, when you're at a restaurant, the desserts they either have gluten in them, dairy in them, or most often both. So I very seldom eat desserts out. I'll make myself one once in a while. My favorite thing to make is a apple crisp with like an oatmeal crumble on top that I can eat. And I can eat a little bit of ice cream, but I don't much. My evening snack I have almost every night. It's called Outshine, and they're like a fruit juice bar. They're only like 60 calories. They're, pretty big. They have interesting flavors like pomegranate and tangerine and coconut and lime and those kinds of things. So I usually keep a couple boxes of those in the freezer and have one for a snack almost every night. So I used to have things like, I make these really good peanut butter balls that I invented years and years ago when I had a picky kid that wouldn't eat any protein. So I invented these things, and now you can find recipes for them all over the internet, but I'm the one that invented them back 30 years ago. It's dried milk and peanut butter and honey is the base of it, and then you can add things like I add some Rice Krispies for some crunch and some chocolate chips in it, but you roll those into balls, and I stick them in the freezer because they get pretty squishy. So I just stick them in the freezer and just take one out as you want to eat it. And they have a ton of protein in them between the peanut butter and the powdered milk. It's got a lot of protein in it. And then you can also add some protein powder too, which bumps up the protein even more. Because I had a picky kid who was hard to get him. That's all that kid would eat almost all through high school was tacos, spaghetti, and pizza. That was pretty much all he ate. No fruits, no vegetables, no salads, very little meat and like a meat and vegetable dish. Maybe he'd eat French fries. That was a vegetable. So, and he'd eat a burger, but had to be plain and dry. No, just meat and bread, and that was it. He's still that way as far as although his wife didn't put up with a lot of that, so he eats a lot more than he used to as an adult, but he still likes his burgers plain and dry. Doesn't like mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, none of that stuff. I'm not a very picky eater. I mean, I am because of my health. I can't have dairy or gluten, but as far as things I like, there's very little I don't like and won't at least try. I bought these and I made them. They were pretty yummy. I bought a bag of, they were like a Walmart brand. It was like root vegetables, and it was like beets and carrots and sweet potatoes and parsnips, and cut up in pieces, and just a freezer bag of them. So I mixed them with a little bit of like a half a cup of oil with basil, parsley, garlic, and paprika and salt and pepper, and I put that in the oil, and then I tossed the veggies in it and put them on a baking sheet, and then baked them for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. They were yummy. So I'll definitely make those again. I do that with that same mixture I do with, it's one of our favorite, my daughter-in-law and I's favorite. We're the only ones that'll eat it, but my daughter-in-law and I love it, is butternut squash. And I'll toss it in that particular combination of spices and oil, and bake that until it gets almost burnt, you know, like really crispy, and it's really yummy. What else? Oh, it's been 15 minutes already. Oh, good grief. We don't have to talk anymore if we don't want to. So thank you to you all. I want to thank you again and again. I have reached 500 subscribers. Got a giveaway going on until the end of the month. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. Enter. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Especially if you want to enter that giveaway, you have to subscribe. I think I'm up to 503 as of this morning. So today is my first day of my 4th year. So I've had 3 full years as a YouTuber. It took me 1 year to get to 50 subscribers. Real slow going in the beginning, just basically people I knew. And then the next year, from year 1 to year 2, to the end of year 2, I got to about 120, 130, somewhere in there. And then from year 2 to the end of year 3, I got up to 500. And right before I had my anniversary, which was yesterday, September 19th was my first day as a YouTuber 3 years ago. So today, September 20th, it's my son's birthday. Gotta remember and call him. I already sent him a card, but I gotta call him, wish him happy birthday. But anyway, so September 20th is the first day starting my 4th year. So I would love to get to 1,000 in this 4th year, but we'll see. I'm a pretty slow growing channel. Some channels, I mean, like one lady that I know, she's just hit a year and she's got 6,000 subscribers. And she basically does what I do. She's just got this cute British accent while she does it. But I'm happy with what I've got, my friends that I've got, and I'd love to grow more, but if I don't, I don't. I just do it because I think it's fun, and I enjoy meeting all you wonderful ladies, so it doesn't really bother me if I don't grow that much. I like to say how blessed I am. That's why I'm blessed GMP. To have all you for friends and almost family, and I do have a wonderful family. A couple of you have asked what ever happened with my granddaughter and daughter-in-law talked me into signing up for this. It's called Silver Singles, and it's this online singles thing, and it's been, I don't know, 2-3 months now. I get matches every day, and sometimes I'll, what they call, smile at them, you know, where you just show a little interest, and a few times I've sent them like little messages, but I never hear anything back from any of them. The only 2 that I've heard from turned out to be like a day or 2 after I heard from them. I heard from the Silver Singles people saying, these people are scammers, which I kind of figured out. So nothing really came of it. I bought a 6-month membership, and I don't know. I still look every once in a while to see who's on there and smile at some of them, but nothing really came of it. That's what I figured. It's happened to me before when I've tried this in the past. I mean, these guys can be old and fat and bald, but they want someone to be younger and athletic and, you know, skinny and all that. And I don't even care. I've been divorced over 30 years. So I've been alone a really long time, and I'm happy with my life. Don't really need a man to make my life happy. I have friends and family and God, and, you know, I'm happy the way I am. I mean, if I happen to find some guy to be friends with, that'd be great, but I'm not looking to get married or anything, and definitely not these ones where right off the get-go that with the guys like, I want a passionate relationship and I want somebody that's going to be in my bed and blah blah blah. I'm like, if that's the first thing they're talking about, that's not for me. I delete those guys. You'd think these old guys would be less randy, I guess is the word. Oh, I got a mosquito bite. My hand's itchy. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I told you I could ramble on for 20 minutes. Easy. I had to take this off. It just smells so good. Yum, yum, yummy. Put it on my hands and I can smell it all night long. What do you think? I'm glowing, aren't I? Well, happy Mask Monday. I hope you all have a great week. And just thank you for being my friends. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Love to have you. You all have a blessed week.